Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, in this video, we will understand another way of distributing your volume. This is the most used, this is the approach that people use in their day to day works to distribute the volume. As I have already explained in my previous video why we are doing this step, because this is required for scheduling purpose. So, when you have to plan schedule for agents, so that's when this is the first step where you have to break down your forecast based on the historical pattern. So let's understand this step by step and let's do it practically. So I have this data here, and this is for 6 weeks data. I have day over day, interval over interval, how our forecast is arriving. I mean, the calls are arriving. So let's understand this. What is the next step we have to do? From we will understand this from scratch to when client provides a forecast number, how to break it down. Okay, so let's get started. So what we have to do here, first we have to see the weekly call volume, how it's arriving. We will take average for each day of the week, and then we'll see how the volume is arriving. So to do that, I'm going to take average for all the Monday. So average range, I will take range criteria and the average range. So which means if we take average for all the Mondays, so let me show you. So in 6 weeks, each Monday, this is the call volume. It's coming 14, between 40, 41, 40, and 43 is the highest one. And if we see average for this is 41, and this is what we are seeing here. So we will take average of each day and drag it till here. So let's drag this, let's drag it here. So this is the weekly call arrival pattern we have. I will take some. So this is the total call arrived for the day. So our total volume for a week is 11,548. However, my total volume received in 6 weeks is 69290. So if I multiply this with 6, our numbers will sync. So this is our volume per week, how it's arriving based on 6 weeks trend. What we will do next, once we have it, we will take standard deviation to see what is the gap in our data. So I'm going to take standard deviation. So how we are doing similarly for all the Monday. So we have 6 Monday in our data set. So let's do it this 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So this is the standard deviation if we see data for our data set. Okay, and I will drag it till end. So this is giving me a difference. So this is the standard deviation. Next, what we have to do, we have to set our lower limit and maximum limit. So we are working on this data That's when I have given this name as minimum volume and maximum volume. So what is minimum volume and maximum volume? What we can do, our weekly average volume, what we have, which is 41, minus the value coming from distribution, I mean from standard deviation, that will be our minimum volume. And I will drag it till here. In maximum volume, in this case, our average volume plus standard deviation, this is our maximum volume limit. I will drag it till the end. So now we have done this: standard deviation, weekly average, minimum, maximum volume we have finalized. Now it's time to normalize our data. Okay, so what we have to do here is, if our volume, so how we are going to normalize our volume? So the actual volume that we received, we have to normalize, knowing that if in case there was an event or there was an issue where the volume was impacted, maybe for a day or particular interval, so what we are doing here, we are going to normalize it with our, we are going to normalize it. How we will do this? Okay, so what I'm doing here, if my actual volume, which is 43 for Monday 9 a.m. interval, if my actual volume is less than equal to minimum, or minimum volume, then minimum volume, if, let me try it again, if my actual volume less than is equal to my minimum volume, then it should give me the minimum value. If my actual volume greater than equal to our maximum volume, which is 42, in this case it should give me 42, otherwise it should return me the same value. You understand? Okay, you getting this point? Let me explain it. So my actual volume, if we see, is 43, right? Let's compare this, our minimum and maximum volume. So this condition is, if the volume is less than 40, then it should return me the same minimum value volume. If my volume is greater than our maximum volume, it should return me the maximum value. So in that case, my actual volume, which is 43, right, is maximum, is greater than my maximum limit, maximum volume. That's when it's normalizing it, because if you see, every Monday, this is the volume that we received. Okay, so this is the first time when we received 43 volume, the highest one. So we are normalizing it with the trend, or I would say we are normalizing it seeing our minimum and maximum limit. Okay, so this is how we have to do it. So I will drag it until Sunday, the same formula. Let me take total of this and drag it until the end. Okay, so every time when we are going to use this function, we have to make sure that the range is not moving. We will take it back to the criteria so that we don't see any issue. Similarly, for each week, I will fix this so that we don't see any error week 4. Let me do it quickly. So this is the one time activity, right? Once this activity is done, your template is ready to use. So whenever you are creating any template, it takes time, right? Because there are few activities which are one time activity, and once it's done or you fix, everything is fine right after that. So this is for the last week. Let me fix it this. Okay, so I'll show you the gap even in our normalized data. Okay, so this is done. Let me just drag it here. So if you see, the volume which I received for these 6 weeks was 69,290. And now let's see what is the revised volume after normalization. So we have gap, so which means we have normalized this volume. Now what we will do, this is our normalized volume. Okay, let's figure out a weekly arrival pattern with this normalized data. So I'm going to use the same. I'm going to take average, range is a week. I will take criteria as week, and volume, I'm gonna freeze this. Let me drag this until end. Okay, now I'll show you the daily volume. So this is the daily volume. Let me see the weekly volume after the normalization. If I multiply this with 6, it should match with our normalized data. Okay, now next step is to distribute. What is the distribution? So for distribution, what we will do, we will break it down per interval. So volume for the interval divided by total volume for the day. Okay, so we have the breakdown for an interval, and for daily breakdown, volume for the day divided by sum of total volume. I will drag it until end. So this is our DOW profile. A volume is arriving this away, Monday to Sunday. This is the distribution of how a volume is arriving, and this is for interval compare today. Now let's suppose a client is saying your volume forecast is 12,000 for a week. How you are going to distribute your volume? So the last step, how we will do, first let's break down your volume, your weekly volume per day. So how we can do that? Our volume forecast, freeze it, and weightage for the day, which is 24. So this is how we have done this. We have broke it down for the day, and now let's do it per interval. So how we are doing it, volume for the day into percentage for an interval. So in this case, this is your arrival pattern. So if you see the numbers are matching, make sure you validate each and everything after taking an action or doing any activity. You make sure you keep validating, so it will help you to figure out where you have done something wrong. If you do something wrong, you will be able to figure it out. So this is how you can break it down, the forecasted volume that is coming from client, or maybe you are the one who is getting in based on the past historical data. So this is how you can break it down. Now next step, you can use it for scheduling. So this is all about this one. So we have learned another way. So this is the third way of distributing your volume. If you are liking the video, please comment, subscribe our channel, and share it with your friend. Thank you.